You're watching TelecomTV's exclusive video coverage of the SDN and OpenFlow event from Dusseldorf. And I'm joined now by Jan Hoagland, who is VP and Head of Product Area Network Analytics and Control with Ericsson. Jan, good to talk to you. Can I ask first of all, how is Ericsson helping telcos to transform their businesses via the use of SDN and NFV?
Well, Ericsson is doing a lot in the space of SDN and NFV. I think this is a great event also where we're sharing a lot of knowledge between different companies and between industries. I mean, in brief, Ericsson is virtualizing all our portfolio for network functions. We're building a complete infrastructure for cloud and NFV. We're building a complete SDN portfolio based on openness, based on open daylight. And on top of that, we're leveraging, of course, our services capabilities as a system integrator.
So here at the SDN event, what is it that you're showcasing?
Ericsson is showcasing a number of things, especially in the area of SDN, where we're showing both transport SDN for transforming the WAN, the wide area network. We're showing a cloud SDN for data center connectivity, which is very relevant now with NFVs coming on board. And of course, we're showing services SDN, how services can be orchestrated with SDN technology.
So can you tell me a bit more about the demonstration you're doing in partnership with Intel, service chaining in the data center?
Right. Yeah, with Intel we have a very fruitful collaboration going. We're doing a number of things between the companies. Here in Dusseldorf we're showing a specific demo of service function chaining, and in fact a new mechanism for that. It's a new mechanism being standardized by IETF. It's called NSH, or Network Service Headers, and that is really promising to industrialize and enable the service function chaining.
What's different about that approach?
It's an approach which builds on the original service function chaining, which is SDN based, but what it does is that it enables further scalability by actually introducing headers, which makes the network more efficient in an NFV environment.
And what are you contributing and what's Intel contributing?
Well, we're doing this together very much. So Ericsson is doing very much of the SDN control. Obviously the environment is Intel based, and Intel are also working with us in standardization and in fact in open source with Open Daylight to contribute what's needed to accelerate and enable this functionality.
Now you mentioned your joint work with open source and open source communities. Why is that? Why is open source and open communities so important?
Open source is important for several reasons. I'll mention two. One is to create openness so that many companies can actually work towards the same open interfaces. Our strategy both for a cloud as well as for SDN is based only on open source. We're basing our cloud execution environment on OpenStack, and we're basing our SDN control on Open Daylight. I think the other key reason is that open source drives innovation. With more companies contributing, innovation goes faster. So we believe that this is the path that will drive innovation going forward.
And within this industry, it's important to have as wide a number of companies and partners and all working towards the same goal as possible. We're trying to encourage this large ecosystem.
Yes, it is. I mean, if you know a little bit about Ericsson, what Ericsson has done driving mobility and broadband, now driving cloud also, standardization is the vehicle to drive openness. I mean, otherwise mobile broadband would not have happened at the scale that has happened. And I think now with cloud and NFV and SDN, the same philosophy applies. The more companies that can come on board, the wider industry adoption and the faster innovation.
And finally, tell me a little bit more about how you are working specifically with Intel and how the two companies benefit each other and therefore their customers.
I mean, Ericsson and Intel, we are doing a number of things together. One of the key things was the announcement in Barcelona this year of a common implementation of Intel's rack scale architecture. So Ericsson is soon coming out with something called the Hyperscale Data Center System 8000, which is based on Intel rack scale. That will be a great platform both for telco NFVs and telco clouds, but also for IT clouds. It's going to be quite disruptive in that space, creating new efficiencies for cloud. So that's one of the examples. I think what we're doing here with SDN complements that in a very nice way, because it shows how the functionality of virtualized network functions can be put together in a more flexible and programmable way.
Jan, for now, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Guy.